After signing a 4-year contract extension with the Seahawks worth north of $87 million this offseason, expectations have never been higher for Russell Wilson, and neither have the questions surrounding the team as a whole. With the departure of Earl Thomas, the final member of the Legion of Boom is now gone, as is Wilson's most reliable receiver, Doug Baldwin. Our Matt Hasselbeck sat down with Wilson to gauge the state of the Seahawks.
How you doing? Good to see you.
I was here recently. That was cool.
What a pass by Russell Wilson.
Touchdown, Russell Wilson.
When I was here, I was the quarterback here, the Sounders came to town. And I thought I was kind of big time. I bought a suite, feeling like, dude, you bought the team. You bought part of the team, part of the ownership group. How like, you a soccer fan? How'd that come?
I've always been a soccer. It's actually the first sport I played, yeah, it's pretty exciting. You know, when I got here in 2012, I used to go to Sounders games all the time, and it was always cool to watch them play. And I've always had, you know, a love for just sports in general. I just love watching greatness.
Last year, a lot of people wrote you guys off. Your defense, you lost the Legion of Boom. They were like, this is going to be a rebuilding year. They're not making the playoffs. Guess what? You guys played great. You made the playoffs. How'd your defense do it?
Well, I think, first of all, it's an attitude. You know, defense is all about attitude, as you know. I think we've been fortunate to have a great leader in Bobby. That's key. And I think Coach Carroll's always been a tremendous coach, and especially when it comes to defense.
Well, you had that talent on defense, but you lost some talent this year on offense. A guy who I think is one of the most underrated wide receivers that I know about, Doug Baldwin, he's gone. Who picks up the slack on offense this year?
I think with Tyler Lockett's going to be able to step up like he did last year. Yeah. He had an amazing year last year, I think 10 touchdowns, and hopefully he can catch fire again.
Touchdown, Seahawks! Tyler Lockett!
Obviously, the acquisition of DK, you know, that's a big thing for us. You know, he's a 6'4.5", 235-pound, 4'3" guy, you know, so.
Did you see the interview when he comes in to interview with Pete Carroll and the Seahawks and Pete takes his shirt off?
That's something Pete would do.
That is something Pete would do.
Definitely
but
would.
What went through your head when you saw that?
I told Pete he needs to get in the weight room.
I think he looks good.
Yeah, he does.
He looks great.
He looks super young, you know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't realize he's like the oldest coach in the NFL.
Oh,
so.
I promise not to say that anymore. All right, I got a couple just rapid fire questions.
I'm ready. 2-minute drill?
Just like, yeah, 2-minute drill.
Okay,
You're great at that. There's
like
just like 6 of them. Just the first thing that comes to your mind, I'm just gonna say a phrase or whatever. First one, what are those?
What are those? Pete Carroll shoes. Pete Carroll shoes.
Those shoes have a name?
They're Monarchs.
Helicopters.
Love them.
You love riding in them?
I love flying them.
You love flying them.
Yeah.
Fly it like you stole it?
Pretty much.
Sierra.
Love of my life, best dancer in the world, best mom in the world. There's a lot of things. I'm not sure if I can keep this wrapped.
Yeah, Queen.
Yeah.
Miami, Florida. Last one.
Miami, Florida, Super Bowl. That's where we're trying to head to. You know, I think that's
the championship mindset.
Yeah, that's the mentality.
And this breaking news out of Seattle. Seahawks NFL Nation reporter Brady Henderson tweeted, news from Pete Carroll's presser, wide receiver David Moore suffered what sounds like a serious shoulder injury in practice yesterday. Carroll said he'll be out for a while and later said he's not expected to be back by week 1. The wide receiving core taking some hits with Moore and DK Metcalf hurt, and of course without Doug Baldwin. I don't know if most people realize Moore had as many touchdowns as Baldwin last season with 5, led the team in yardage per catch. This hurts.
Yeah, it does. It does. You know, when you're looking at the NFC West, and you're looking at how all those teams are really bolstering their rosters and becoming more explosive, especially on the offensive side of the football, you would think, you know, look, if David Moore's healthy, if DK Metcalf is healthy, then maybe they're ushering in, you know, a new wave of young players that are big-time outside lane, down-the-field threats. And then you still have Tyler Lockett. Obviously, losing Doug Baldwin, you know, to retirement is a big blow, but you still have some capable replacements coming in there. When you start losing people now due to injury like this, and this is a team that's in transition anyway, then you shift over to the defensive side of the football. We don't know how the defense still is going to look, especially from a pass rush perspective. There's a lot of questions surrounding the Seattle Seahawks outside of Russell Wilson now and Bobby Wagner.
And I'll tell you what, the old axiom of you have to control the game really applies here. So for Seattle, and I agree with you, Lewis, they're not going to score like the Rams are. They got a good offensive line. They drafted Rashad Penny a year ago in the first round. They got a good kicker in Jason Meyer. I think Coach Carroll brought in Brian Schottenheimer. They have a real vision on how they want to win the game, how they can control the line of scrimmage. And it's not going to be by outscoring teams. It's going to be by running the ball and playing good defense.
Hey, quick before we move on, because the Seahawks play the Chargers this weekend. Which of these teams are you more concerned about?
Even though what we just said, for me, it's the Chargers. Derwin James is a great player. Losing him is a huge blow. And look, Melvin Gordon's not a great player. He's not Zeke Elliott, but he's a good player. He's not in camp. And then you look at quarterback, Phillip Rivers, in the last year of his contract. That brings up some question marks as well. So for as good as the Chargers did a year ago, they have some question marks.
It's still, what worries me, though, is that it's still an explosive play league. In Seattle, just where is it going to come from now? If they keep losing these kinds of bodies, look, Tyler Lockett can only do so much. Russell can only do so much. The Chargers still, at the very least, can produce explosive plays down the field. They still have Mike Williams. They still have Keenan Allen. And they still have Phillip. And they can generate enough offense. And they still have some dynamic pass rushers on defense. Both of these teams are facing some hurdles, some things that they're going to have to climb uphill on. But Seattle right now, boy, that's a big blow. That's a big blow for a football team that traditionally you think of as a traditional NFC power.
Yep, big blow. All right, we're still working our way through the 6 games that were played last night. Coming up, Brian Flores has made it clear that Ryan Fitzpatrick is his starter, but did Josh Rosen give himself a chance to change the narrative last night? We're going to talk Dolphins.